This video is a continuation of the information you have been reading about how to complete the critical thinking quiz. You've covered what the quiz is, what is expected, and how to handle technical issues. This video covers two main strategies for completing the CTQ. These strategies are provided to help give you a starting point for answering the CTQ essay question. You are not required to use these strategies, but they have been helpful for students to use and keep in mind in previous years. The first strategy will be how to tackle the CTQ question, since the question has multiple parts. In order to do well on the CTQ, you want to be able to break down the question to make sure you know what the parts are asking you to do and how to answer them completely. To break down the question, you want to think about PI. The first point of PI is to pinpoint what content the question wants to know. What specific topic is the question asking about? The second point is to identify the goal of the question. Does the question need you to explain a concept, analyze a specific event that happened, apply a decision from history to today, or maybe a combination of several goals? Since the question has multiple parts, each part may have its own goal. Identifying the goal or goals of the question will help narrow down what you are expected to do with the information. The third part of PI is to envision the information. You need to think of specific content that helps you address the question. One good way to complete this third step is to have a blank piece of paper in front of you when you are ready to start the quiz. You can't use any prepared notes, resources, or study guides on quizzes or tests. But a blank piece of paper can allow you several ways to jot down information you know about the topic the CTQ question is asking about. You can create a mind map of the topic, make a list of items you think connect to the topic, write down vocabulary words, terms, key people, key events that you can remember about the topic. These are great ways to get your thoughts together before you try to write your response to the question. This way, you aren't trying to remember information and organize your essay at the same time in your head. You can use the sheet you created as a reference when writing your answer. Since the question is broken down into individual sections, you can also use each section of the question as its own paragraph. But another strategy to use for organizing your answer is the Oreo trick. This is a great tool to use to help you stay on track when writing and to keep things organized. You start off by providing your opinion or your topic sentence. You then provide reasons for your opinion or your stance on the topic. You next need to provide evidence and examples and explanation for why your reason is valid. You then restate your opinion or topic sentence as sort of a conclusion to your essay. Oreo is a good tool to use because you can stuff the Oreo with as many reasons, evidence, and explanations as you would like. Those two middle parts can be extended to help make sure your answer completely addresses the question. Let's practice our strategies using an example from world history specifically. This is not an actual CTQ question you will see, but it is very similar to what you will see on the CTQ. The Ancient Civilization Museum is opening a new exhibit about ancient Persia and their unique ruling style when compared to Assyria or Babylon. You've been asked to help create the information on the exhibit. Please address the following in an essay. 1. What were 3 characteristics of Persian rule? 2. How was Persia different in these characteristics from Assyria or Babylon? 3. What can current leaders in today's culture learn from how Persia ruled? So let's look at PI and see if we can figure out how to tackle the question. We need to pinpoint the content the question wants to know about. The first area I see is the 3 characteristics of Persian rule. Another area they want to know about is how Persia is different from Assyria or Babylon. This means I need to have an example or two to show the difference between Persia and one of those other civilizations. Another area the question wants to know about is what current leaders can learn from Persia's rule today. What do those characteristics connect to in today's culture that would be beneficial? Next up is to identify the goals. Each part of the question has a different goal. The first goal is to provide 3 characteristics of Persian rule, then explain how Persia was different from one other civilization is given. The final goal is to analyze and explain what current leaders can learn from how Persia ruled. So this connects back to the first part of the question where we identified 3 characteristics. The final part of PI would be to create a reference on the blank paper we have in front of us. Now here is a very neat example of a mind map on the topic. Your mind map or reference sheet that you create does not have to be this neat, but we had the benefit of the computer for this example. As you can see, there are several ideas included and connected together. In this specific example, I've put topics I am sure I know about and can explain in italics. Other topics listed are ones I think I remember reading about, but I don't have specific examples or aren't 100% sure if they connect to Persia or maybe Babylon as a civilization. But this gives me a good starting point on specific areas that I can write about to answer the 3 parts in my essay. The next thing we want to go over are general questions about the critical thinking quiz that many students have. The first one is, what happens if I do bad on your CTQ? Not everyone does well on every essay they write, but you do have options if you are disappointed with your grade. Remember, this is a quiz, so if you have not used your unit quiz retake by this point, you can use it on your CTQ. If you don't have your quiz retake available, you can always request an alternate CTQ that would average out with all your other quizzes from the unit. If you still have your quiz retake available but don't want to use it on the CTQ, you can also improve your score by using the retake on just a regular quiz. You always want to use the retake on the quiz with the lowest score, but that you feel confident you can improve your score in the alternate quiz on. Will the CTQ question come from any unit? No. The CTQ will only come from a topic in the 3rd unit of your semester where the CTQ is in your coursework. Is the CTQ another test in my unit? No, this is an essay quiz. The score you earn will be averaged with your other quiz scores from the unit. You will only have 1 test in each unit for your semesters. I absolutely hate writing. Am I still required to take the CTQ? Yes. The CTQ is not an optional assessment. It is a way to help measure the skills that you've been developing through your semester. If you're concerned about taking the CTQ, how to prepare for it, what to expect, please connect with your teacher before you take it so you both can work on strategies together.